up, everyone? It's your girl Brainy Shanae, and today I decided that I'm going to be doing the Blackoween Book Tag. Now, no one necessarily has tagged me, but I wanted to still do this and participate with this book tag because, first off, I'm a huge fan of book tags. I really need to get back to doing them. And second off, I really love Blackoween, and I want to pretty much answer all these questions. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the questions that we have for this book tag. So if you didn't know, this particular tag is it's an original and is created by Bree from Blackoween. So just to let you know, which I'll leave her video up above so you can check it out. But anyway, so the first question is, how did you hear about Blackoween? And once again, I heard about Blackoween from Bree from Blackoween, who is the creator of Blackoween-a-thon. So that's how I heard about it, and I was just really excited to participate. And then the second prompt or question: how many years have you participated in Blackoween? And for this year, this will be my third year participating with Blackoween. It has grown substantially, and I love the creativity. I love the interaction and the engagement within the community for Blackoween. It's just been a fun time. So this has been officially my third year participating in Blackoween. And then the third question is, what favorite book did you read during Blackoween, like previous years, and it sits with you? And I have to go with, and this is the book that I read last year, and I have to go with Nana by Brandon Massey. Bree mentioned this book to me and recommended it. She's been recommending it forever, and just continuously recommend this particular book. And the book has stayed with me tremendously. I'm thinking about it now as I'm talking to you about Nana. It creeps me out, don't get me wrong, but it was so freaking good. But like I said, it did freak me out. But I really really loved Nana. I gave it 5 stars. I think even on my channel last year, we did like a discussion about the particular book because I was just really intrigued with it and wanted to talk about it. And I'm just happy that Bree recommended this particular book. So it stays with me, and I did read it last year for Blackoween. The next question is, what kind of crime fiction do you like reading, even if it has a romance in it? I mostly like thrillers. I like a lot of action. I'm more action-packed, action-forward. I want to see something happens. This is because initially I read a lot of like fantasy. And so with fantasy, when it comes with a like political intrigue or black academia, when it's really brutal and stuff like that, I like stuff that keeps me going, and thrillers are my thing. I feel thrillers keep me going. It keeps me intrigued. It keeps me wanting to constantly read. And usually with thrillers, I'm never able to put the book down. So I have to go with thrillers for my crime fiction that I like reading the most, or that I like reading. And the next one says, what are 3 to 5 books on your TBR for Blackoween this year? So I read The Living Blood by Tananarive Due. I've read Bitter Root, which is a graphic novel. And then I've read Alex Wise versus the End of the World, and that is by Terry J. Benton Walker, that's a middle grade, and I loved it so much. I love Terry J. Benton Walker's writing, just love it. Jackal by Aaron E. Adams, and then I finished reading Eden's Everdark by Karen Strong a little bit earlier yesterday. So those are some of the books that I've pretty much already read so far this year for Blackoween. The next prompt is, what kind of content do you like to see during Blackoween? I love seeing people's TBRs. I like reading sprints, of course. I like people posting their TBRs on Instagram, doing reels. Even I've been watching people post on TikTok for Blackoween, and I'm starting to get addicted to TikTok, y'all. I ain't gonna lie when I keep scrolling. But I just love seeing the content that people, think and they do for Blackoween and the TBRs that they create, because sometimes you can be stuck and you're like, oh God, I need to figure out what book fits this prompt. And sometimes you may think a little bit too hard, and just watching people's content and their TBRs, it sort of gives you an idea. It gives you recommendations that you could possibly add to your TBR and so on. So I really enjoy people's content and what they do, and their crazy and their reels that they create and all that. So, and the recommendations videos, I do love those as well. So that's the type of content that I do love seeing during Blackoween. The next question is, have you read a book from an author that was interviewed during Blackoween? And I'm actually in the middle of reading one of the books that Bree did an interview for, I think it was last year, and that is Jackal by Erin E. Adams. Bree had did an interview with her, and I'm enjoying the book. Now, I'm not gonna lie, like at the beginning of the book, it was very, very slow, you know, and then because I like things going. But, you know, I had to do like it had to be a whole introduction of the main character, you know, returning to her hometown. And so right now I am loving it. It's picking up and it's gotten me like, oh my God, what's going on now? What's gonna happen? Are they gonna find her? Type of thing. Like, it's got me all emotional and whatnot, because it's so. With this particular book with Jackal by Erin E. Adams, it's so realistic because it happens all the time on a regular basis, whether people want to admit it or not. It does happen where a lot of kids end up missing, and half the time authorities or whatever, they just pronounce them as the runaways, when that's not always the case, and they don't even try to search for them. So I really do appreciate the awareness that Jackal is providing as I'm reading this book. But yes, I'm currently reading Jackal by Erin E. Adams, and I believe Bree has interviewed her. I believe she interviewed her last year. And so for the next prompt is, let's see, what is an ambitious read for Blackoween for you? I don't really have anything too ambitious. I think with what I've done with Blackoween this year, I was very strategic when it came to the prompts and the locations. And I think with all the books that I've read and accomplished, I thought it was ambitious. I thought it was very ambitious, but as I'm getting through the month, I was like, okay, this is not too bad. So I don't really think it was too ambitious for me. And I think the books that I picked, they weren't that crazy, you know, they weren't that bad, they weren't extensive. So I think I really did a good job. So it wasn't too ambitious for me. What are you looking forward to, or the next question is, what are you looking forward to the most for Blackoween this year? Well, what I've loved so far is just the engagement and people posting and people doing this book tag. And I'm really looking forward to next year and seeing what happens and just to constantly see it grow and build. Like I'm loving this. I'm loving it so much. So yeah, so that will be my answer for that one. And then last but not least, we have the last question, and it's, what's a book with a beautiful cover that counts as a Blackoween pick? So I'm gonna pick one of the graphic novel that I read for Blackoween, and that is Bitter Root. And I actually loved I love this cover so much, of the Black family, just having a picture together. I really enjoyed Bitter Root. I want to continuing on reading it, especially with the big cliffhanger that happened at the very end of the first volume. I was like, man, what? Like, this is huge reveal. I'm like, what's going on? I'm thinking you were dead this entire time. I thought y'all were gone, but no, y'all weren't. So like, but the cover is so beautiful. I love Bitter Root, and I love Jackal by Erin E. Adams. I love that cover as well. It sinks you in and makes you want to read it. And yeah, but all the covers are phenomenal, but Bitter Root and Jackal, I really love those covers so much. But that is all the prompts and questions. I do want to tag, I feel like anybody that hasn't done this tag, you are officially tagged. Adrian, I'm tagging you. Bree from Bree Reads, I'm also tagging you. You know, I'll leave them down below in the description of the people that I'm tagging. You know, but anyways, anyone that has not done this tag yet, you are officially tagged. Like I said earlier on with this video, I was not tagged, but I still wanted to do this tag because I like book tags, and I really love Blackoween and what Bree has done. But yeah, that is it. I really hope you enjoyed this book tag, and I hope that you participate, and I look forward to seeing everyone's content, you know, as this month goes on and then to the next year for Blackoween. But thank you all so much for watching, and hope you are staying healthy and staying safe. Bye, everyone.